Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We're surrounded by books. That means one of two things, either a book haul or a book recommendation video. Today we're actually doing something a little bit different, but I'm very excited. So if you're new to my channel, you may not know this, but I am a published author. I published a book back in April of 2023. It is called Upside Down. You see her, beautiful. And then who is that? That's me. So I decided to do a book video, a little bit about my journey to becoming a published author, what that looked like, where I am now. And yeah, so we're just gonna sit and talk. A little bit different, but I've wanted to do this for a while. I just kind of haven't. But because I've been working on some things, I decided we're going to do this video. So, yeah, again, she's published. I usually have it on my shelf in some of my videos because obviously we're showing off my work. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about this process a bit. I have always loved reading since I was younger, but I stopped reading for a time, maybe in like late middle school, so probably 6th or 7th grade, just for lack of representation. I was reading all these books, loving them, but never really seeing or reading a character that looked like me, came from similar backgrounds, things of such. That didn't take away from the books that I was reading, but you get to a point where it's like, where are the characters that look like me in the spotlight and not so much the side characters or just non-existent at all? So I stopped reading and only really read books that were required for school. The leisure reading kind of stopped. And I used to leisure read a lot with my school. In elementary, middle, and high school, they had a library, separate libraries for high school and middle school and elementary. But we had those libraries and you could go in and check books out and so forth. So that's where I really used to do all of my reading. I used to get some books from Barnes and Nobles, but I was more so using my school's library. But we stopped. And then I went home my sophomore year of college during the pandemic. And I went home in, I don't know, March or April. And then just for context, my entire junior year was virtual. And then my senior year, I was pretty much virtual too. I studied abroad for a few weeks and then I was back home. So during all of that time, TikTok had also just became popular. And I was on TikTok one day just scrolling and I saw this content creator. She was talking about a book. The main character, Black, she was going to college in North Carolina. And also, if you don't know, I went to Bennett College for Women in Greensboro, North Carolina. So I was like, okay, connection. The author, Black. The author got her bachelor's in journalism. If you don't know, I got my bachelor's in journalism and media studies. So I was like, all these similarities, like this is crazy. What is this book? Turns out the book is Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. I do, in fact, have it. Wait. Okay, so this is the book that I'm talking about, Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. I have this Barnes & Noble special edition with the sprayed edges. I also have the hardcover. And then I obviously love this book, so I continue with the series. This is book 2. Barnes & Noble's exclusive with sprayed edges, and I have book 3. It's a hardback, it's over there, but when the Barnes & Noble's exclusive edition comes out with the sprayed edges, I'll get that too, and I'll have 2 sets, the Barnes & Noble's exclusive set of this series, and then I have all of them in hardcover as well. So that was the book that got me into reading again. It is a fantasy King Arthur inspired retelling. It's really good. And it doesn't end at book 3. There will be a 4th book coming out, and that's supposed to end the series. But I saw that, I was like, I have to have this book. I need to read it. And it was the first time I had really been interested in reading something outside of what was required for school. So I went upstairs running to my mom. I was like, we have to go to Barnes & Noble's tomorrow. Like, I need to get this book. We went to Barnes & Noble's the next day. The nail salon that we go to back home, it's literally the nail salon, and then you walk and it's Barnes & Noble's. So we did that and went to Barnes & Noble's. I got that book and I got a few others. The same day that I bought Legendborn, I finished it, devoured the book. And I was like, okay, I'm back. And so that kind of just set the train in motion for me to continue reading again. And I was getting book recommendations from BookTok. It wasn't as popular, or maybe I just wasn't on the popular side at that time. And then based off of some of the other books that I was reading, I was finding similar books of that nature. So thus the money being spent on books began. Going to Barnes & Noble's a lot, buying a lot of Amazon packages. Yes. One day I was reading in the living room with my mom as she was watching TV, and she told me, you read so much, you could probably write a book. Light bulb, ding, 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 ding. I was like, you know what? I probably could. Like, let's see where this goes. And then that train was set in motion for me to write the book. At this point, my mom said this to me, I believe she said this to me either the end of my junior year of undergrad or like at the start of my senior year of undergrad. And I had already had this idea from when I was younger, but I didn't really do anything with it. It was just an idea. So I picked up Upside Down. It is lost now. Okay. But Upside Down, it's dystopian, it's sci-fi, young adults. A lot of the books I was reading when I was younger were dystopian. That genre is just superior. Great things came out of that. And then the books when I started reading again were fantasy based. So I kind of just incorporated the two. And I just started working on Upside Down. It's based in the future where the world is split in two. The wealthy live above the clouds in Rose City, and then the poor live on Earth's surface. Hence why we have the world at the top and the world at the bottom. And I kind of ran from there. I incorporated like dates and names that were meaningful to me. So throughout that has personal touches of myself and my family and my friends. And I don't know, I guess it felt easy, but I don't know if that's a good thing to say. I wrote this in 5 months. And I will say, I think I was able to knock it out so quickly because, as I mentioned, I was home, virtual, my senior year. And I was honestly finished my first semester of senior year, but because I was joining a sorority, you have to be registered as a full-time student. So, you know, I had to do the second semester as well. So I had more flexibility than probably if I was on campus. So with all that time, I was just able to like knock it out right. And I did. It was a lot of rewriting or moving, because I would write stuff and then read it back. And I was like, I don't know if this makes sense. Or I realized like the timeline wasn't lining up. I was like, all of this can't possibly happen in a day. Like, when are we moving to the next day? As well as trying to switch between people's point of views, because my book, we do have multiple point of views, because it just makes more sense, as well as trying to explain the world that they live in. I felt that was a little hard, trying to do the world building and being so descriptive that they could actually visualize Rose City and Earth's surface. because you will meet characters from Rose City and Earth Surface in this book. And it kind of gives you a glimpse of the past and the present, some flashbacks. Yeah, there's also poetry in here. I was taking a creative writing class. I took 2 creative writing classes my senior year of undergrad, and that kind of helped me as well when I was doing this, because I was exploring my side of poetry. I was like, you know, why not sprinkle this in there, razzle dazzle? And she came about. I finished it, and then I think I might have told my mom I finished it, but I was like, where do I go from here? Because again, I've never been in this situation. Like, I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to be doing. Then I just started to reach out to publishing companies. Like, I looked up book publishing companies, and I sent out my manuscript to a few of them. I heard back from one, Dorrance Publishing, and they were like, you know, your book sounds interesting. This seems like something that we would have with the rest of our books. And which they do have a big like sci-fi selection. So I was in contact with them, trying to see like what the next steps were. Of course, my mom was like, make sure this is a legit company, because you don't want to get hoaxed and then you're sending money and it actually doesn't come out to anything. They are legit. Did a bunch of research. My mom was researching. So we just kind of went back and forth with them kind of putting me in contact with someone who would help with the process of getting the book published, doing edits, the cover. They asked me if I had a cover in mind. I did some like mock-ups on Canva trying to explain what I wanted, because at this time I didn't think I was equipped to design the cover myself. So they had someone design the cover for me. And they also came up with the book blurb, and I sent them the about the author blurb here. And we went through that. I put myself on a payment plan for when it came to making payments for the book. I will say it is a very expensive process. Like, shout out to my mom, because she did help me when it came to making payments. And honestly, the book had been finished, and my mom was like, what's going on with this book? Like, you've sent in all this money. And I told her what they told me, like, as soon as we get the rest of the payments, we can start printing the book. So my mom, the angel she is, sent in the rest of the money so my book can start being printed, because there was really nothing else for me to do besides pay them money. And then we had the book come out. And when it came to like the font and stuff, I did not pick this font. I believe they did. I did, you know, write this dedication. And then we have acknowledgements, which I wrote the acknowledgements, and then this starts the book. But yeah, the font style I did not pick out, but everything else is what I did. I also didn't pick up the size. As you can see on my bookshelf, books come in varying sizes. This is more of a longer book. I believe if it was shorter, it would be more pages. It only printed out to be 158 pages, but when I wrote this book, it was 193 pages. So that all comes out to how the book is formatted, as well as your fonts and font sizes. So I have sold books. It is available in print as well as ebook. Yes, on Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, obviously the Dorrance Publishing site, because I went through Dorrance Publishing. You can find it there. And it's on some other sites as well. I was looking up. I can't think of them right now. But yes, it was a time. I think writing the book went faster than actually getting the book printed and me having a physical copy in hand. That took longer. Recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Michaela opening her first copy of her book.
Yeah. Okay. Turn it. Try not to cut myself.
Please don't.
But I want it really badly. Okay. Here we have her.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna cut it open.
Please be careful with the scissors.
Ooh, look how cute! This is my book.
Yes.
Look at me! This is actually crazy.
You have a book.
Insane. I have a book. Michaela Zeno. I'm Michaela Zeno. Also, peep the nails
Yes, they
to
match.
go with the book.
Yes.
Because Michaela Zeno is a published author.
Period.
Yes. But my book was published in April of 2023, and we've been moving since. But it was published while I was in grad school, and my grad program was accelerated, so I didn't have as much time for other stuff besides school. And then from grad school, I went straight into a job. Like, I had a month and a half off, and then I was a working woman. So here we are. I am, big news, working on book 2. It is coming. It's in the works. It's been a long time coming. I'm hoping to have something this year, and I am trying. I've had friends message me like, when is the next book coming out? Like, you left on the cliffhanger. What's happening? We're coming. I promise. It's coming. It's a lot. I have a vision. I'm trying to bring my vision to life. This will be the last installment in the series. It's only going to be 2 books. Yeah. But also, my mind has been reeling of course, I like to read in my leisure time as well. And I have all these ideas for other books. Yes, I would like to continue to write. So between reading, these other ideas, life, it's been a time. But book 2 is coming. I can say right now I'm at like 180 pages and we're not finished. We're still going. I know for a fact, even though the book isn't finished, I will have more pages than book 1, but that makes it very exciting because there's a lot to say. The way book 1 ends, you have a lot of questions, things are unanswered, and it just leaves you thinking. Book 2, you're gonna get some answers. There's going to be a lot of drama, there's secrets. Very, very excited. I can also say there are going to be more point of views, so you can kind of get into the thought process and the mind of other characters that were introduced in book 1. But yes, that's where we are, being a published author. It's fun, but it's also kind of, I'll say like a little stressful, only because for me, when I went through publishing, I went through a publishing company that isn't as popular as others, and then promotion and stuff like that kind of fell all on myself. And I've had family and friends as well helping. I've done book signings like at my church back home when I did my capstone presentation. In grad school, I did like a little book signing selling thing, but it feels like that has all fallen on me and I'm doing that myself. So it is a lot to say. You're doing all the promotion yourself, you're doing all the writing yourself. Yes, but it is fun because you get to be creative. Try new things, see what you like, what you don't. And that makes me happy. And recently I've just kind of been in the writing mode where I'm getting all of these ideas, like it's flowing out of me for book 2. I do have all of my chapters. I won't say too much, but it's more chapters than it was in book 1. So that makes it even more exciting because there's more to say, there's more to learn and understand. So I'm very excited for where I am in book 2 and looking forward to seeing this book come to life just as well as Upside Down came to life. So that's my little talk about me being an author. So Upside Down, she is out. She is available for purchase on a lot of platforms. I will put them in the description box so you can check it out yourself. Again, this is dystopian, YA, fantasy. There's a little bit of romance in there, but it's good. We have drama, we have secrets. I mean, it's the future. Why would you not want to read about it? So yeah, I'll keep y'all updated on this journey, my author journey, what next steps will be like for the next book in the series and how things are turning out. So thanks for listening, and hopefully this sounds intriguing to y'all and you decide to give Upside Down a chance. You know, support your new authors. Me. And I will also put all of my social media links in the description box below as well. That way you can be up to date on my social media channels. A lot of things are coming out on there to pique your interest, be updated, see what's happening with my books. So thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button down below. Peace and blessings, my loves.